missed me. I had a big break this time, a lot of personal stuff to deal with, health, new job. This is not because I'm lazy piece of shit. But I'm back with a new review of a mouse I've been using a lot for the last 3 months. I'm not the type of reviewer to call every mouse in a review my main mouse, and that's generally pretty weird. It's hard to have a primary mouse when I'm constantly testing new mice, but the hero of this review, the Zowie EC3-CW, came very close to being my main mouse. Let me start with the facts. EC3-CW series is the first wireless mouse series from the legendary Zowie. The EC3 is the smallest of the bunch. There is also a slightly larger EC2 and the largest EC1. EC3 weighs 76 grams, 1 kHz polling rate, 3370 sensor, and a shocking price. That is now slightly reduced, but more on that later. It would seem that the feature set is far from impressive, but Zowie managed to surprise. First of all, quality of the build and materials is simply amazing. By that measure, this is the best you can buy right now. In terms of quality, the closest competitor is probably Vaxi. The mouse is assembled like a tank, no squeaks, backlash, rattles, all parts fit perfectly. The mouse coating is a standard for Zowie. If you had a Zowie mouse before, you'll understand. Slightly smooth, soft touch plastic that becomes very grippy when heated by your hands. On the downside, it collects dirt and grease from your hands very quickly, so you need to wipe it down often. Buttons also I will call one of the best, very light and sharp click. It is very easy to spam click very quickly. There is some slight pre-travel and post-travel, but the trigger point is quite high and in real use it's not noticeable. And overall it's normal for a solid button design. The side buttons and wheel are probably one of the biggest improvement over the wired EC. Side buttons are benchmark. The click is light, crisp and without any pre or post travel. They do not protrude, so accidental clicks can be avoided. The wheel is similar to the classic Zowie, it is just as noisy, but has become a bit smoother, although it still gives a good feedback. Let's get to the most interesting part, the sensor and wireless performance. The mouse comes with the 2 dongles, a baby dongle. It's a small standard dongle with extender, and a GigaChat dongle, which is more like a radar. To be honest, I didn't notice any difference in performance between these two. Theoretically, the giant radar should give you a more stable connection at a LAN tournament where there is likely to be a lot of interference. In home conditions, I didn't notice any difference, but there is no reason not to use it, if only because, well, it looks cool and also works as a charging station, which is handy. Speaking of 3370 sensor, I was very pleasantly surprised. I ran a bunch of tests in Kovac and went through AIMers Plus benchmark, alternating between using different mice, including both 4K and 8K polling rate, and I can tell you that the sensor in the EC3 feels very cool, very responsive. It really feels on par with the 4K mice. If I didn't know it was 3370, I would think it was 3395. And even seeing it was more than 1K polling rate, how smooth and responsive sensor is. Yes, there is no motion sync. Personally, for me, it's not a problem because I always turn it off most of the time anyway. I like the sharpness and responsiveness much better without motion sync. Overall, it's very cool implementation of 3370, and don't worry about buying old hardware, you won't notice any difference. Let's talk about shape. This is the most important thing in any mouse, and of course Zowie and the legendary EC series is time-tested without exaggeration. It is the most popular Ergo shape that all the manufacturers start to copy. In the wireless version they changed the front a bit, added this bulge in place for the ring finger. The size of my hand is 90 by 10 centimeters, and it is very comfortable for me in the finger grip or relaxed claw grip. With the finger grip there is plenty of room at the back, which gives a good range for aiming. The back is sloped so that it doesn't interfere in any way. There is no dead grip effect like on the Lens Torn. Personally, I found this shape to be very comfortable, and again, I'm not a fan of Ergos. Although I have to admit that this mouse became my main mouse for almost 3 months. And as I said, there is 3 sizes of this mouse, and to put it very simply, with average hand size between 70 and 90 centimeters, EC3 is for finger and claw grip, EC2 is for claw and a bit of palm or hybrid grip, and EC1 is the largest for a classic palm grip. I'm so used to small mice, so the EC3 was a perfect choice for me. Okay, but let's face it, this mouse caused me a lot of soul searching while preparing this review. In emotional level, this is a great mouse that is just a pleasure to use. Great coating, benchmark buttons, great build quality, competitive sensor. But on other hand, as a reviewer, it is very hard for me to justify the price more than $150 for a mouse with a 1K polling rate and not super fresh sensor. I think Zowie understands this as well, so they dropped the price to $120, which make it a little more attractive. Overall, if you like Zowie mice and especially the EC series or Ergo mouse overall, I definitely recommend buying one. For everyone else, I can recommend it if you really want a new experience and feel what is a solid mouse. Solid professional mouse, okay. And finally, I spoil the mice you should expect reviews on soon. As this is banger WL mouse Beast X, of course legendary ultralight X medium size, and I am waiting for a big size. Thanks for watching, take care of yourself and your loved ones, ciao!